Well, it is a great feeling to have this coop over here. Still needs some work, but the worst of it's over. I'm gonna go ahead and feed the pigs another pumpkin. I have a few just sitting around the farm. There's one way out there. So before they get bad, I'd like to give them something nice. Howdy, yeah. Today is November 10th. Surprisingly, the chickens love radishes. I didn't think that they would, but they gnawed that down to pretty much nothing, so I'm impressed. Howdy, yeah. Today is November 11th. I'm gonna go ahead and start opening up these nesting boxes. Once again, we have another really vague assembly. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory how to put stuff like that together. They give you a little pack of nuts and bolts. There's the actual nesting boxes and a lot of other pieces. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of time and put it all together. All right, y'all, it is all put together. I took about an hour in total, a lot of little nuts and bolts, but the frame is pretty self-explanatory. The directions actually weren't too horrible. So yeah, this is nice and solid. I like that. The one thing I see that is probably the weak point on this is when you lift this up, this is only held up by a couple little plastic pegs on either side. So I can see a fat chicken hopping up here, breaking it, because these things aren't the strongest. And then also I can just see these little pins in here breaking. So far I'm happy with it. We'll see what the chickens think. This is gonna go in the one winter chicken coop that doesn't have nesting boxes. All the other winter coops have nesting boxes. So I was interested in trying out the roll out nesting boxes. They have a slant to them in there, so when I lay the egg, rolls in here, you can grab them. That way, if my chickens tend to all want to clump into one box, which is really frustrating, and then they start breaking them. So hopefully this will help alleviate some of that issue. But I wanted to get this as a test run to see if I like these boxes and if I do want to put them on the mobile coops for the summer. Whether I buy this in, 4 crossed and not the double stack wouldn't work out there. So we'll see how it works out. I also got it just to see how it was put together and made, so that way I could potentially build my own in the future, and they'd be a lot stronger than this. I mean, I could see how I can make it work once these things do break, just to build flaps on this, but anyways, we'll go ahead and get it popped into the chicken coop out there today. The bedding's gonna slowly creep up, so I'll probably move that up over time, but for now that's a pretty good jump for them already. But we'll see what they think of it. Hopefully they'll use it. Right, chicken? That was that pearl white that randomly couldn't walk, and look at her now, she does just fine. She doesn't really hang out with the other chickens. She likes doing her own thing, so she's smart, I'll give that to her. But I might put just a tiny bit of straw in there, and maybe the chickens will take to it a little better, but I don't want so much straw in there that's gonna clog anything up. And speaking of messed up chickens, that one chick that I have where its toes are kind of curling and it's not really using its legs too much, no improvement. If anything, it's getting worse. So I don't really know what to do at this point. I held it up so it could get some food and water, but it's already thinner than the rest, and you can tell it's kind of given up on life. I mean, it still moves around and does things, but it just can't use its legs at this point anymore at all. So it just kind of drags them around. It's quite sad to watch. So I don't know what I'm going to do at this point with that one. really isn't improving. Its toes are still curled up, and now it's not even using its legs, so it's only getting worse. I still have the water in there with the added boost of B12, but probably best to separate them for now. I also gave him a little special mix there. Just cracked an egg, sprinkled some grain on it, left the shell in there, crushed it up. Give him a little bit of special treatment and hope for the best. I've got a heat lamp on him, and at least it's not getting trampled anymore, because when I came in today, it was laying by the feeder here, and all the other chicks were just stepping on him. So now that it's separated, hopefully get a little more one-on-one. Doesn't have to fight so hard to get food or water. But yeah, fingers crossed on this one, guys. What are you doing out, chicken? I think you belong in one of these coops over here. Put this net down for you. Chickens are slowly starting to go up. Alright, you can go up now. You can tell she's in the process of molting right now. She is a pretty patchy chicken. Can she do it? Yes. Alright, easy enough. Thankfully the winds died down a little bit. It was pretty chilly with that going on. I've been moving this coop just a little bit every day so it doesn't kill the grass underneath it and it still gets watered. And I'll probably just park it alongside the pig fence for winter. This was the meat bird coop, so not going to be using that for a few more months. The pigs are just about finishing their food now. I spoke too soon. They heard me talking and ran back out and started eating again. Right now I'm giving them in total 4 pounds of food a day. Once they're another month older here in a couple weeks, I'll up that, be getting a little bit more. So basically 1 pound per pig for how old they are. So 1 month old pig gets 1 pound a day, 2 months, 2 pounds, 3 months, 3 pounds, and so on. They do get a lot of scraps, so they're definitely spoiled in that way. So they're definitely not solely grain fed or anything, and they still get plenty of grass. Howdy-o. Today is November 12th. It's chilly and breezy, so this rain jacket is coming in handy as a windbreaker currently. Probably won't do too much recording outside just because it is so windy, but I am currently in the coop where I put the nesting boxes in yesterday. We'll see if the chickens used them. I found one egg. Found one egg on the ground, so hopefully everybody else used them. You chickens can go. And then there's the little guy. You gonna go? All right. So I put a bit of straw in there. Oh, we got one. And it looks like it rolled down pretty good. Yeah, very nice. Even with some straw in there, it worked. Got that. Put these on the ground for now. So I can keep holding you guys. Nothing, nothing, nothing. There's one. And nothing. Only 3 eggs. You chickens need to get to work. Well, I'm glad the chickens are using it, minus the one chicken, but hopefully the others will hop in there today, finish laying their eggs. I usually get 6 eggs a day from these guys. I'm gonna go ahead and start on this row first. We'll see with the wind if I'm able to get the weed cloth rolled up nice, but I'm gonna be moving the chickens' net here soon, and these T-posts are in my way, so I gotta cut these lines off and get this picked up here. Just got the pigs done. Man, this dirt looks amazing out here. Looks like it's just ready to be planted. They tilled it beautifully. Here's the section that I marked off because I didn't want them to completely tear it up. So I gave them this little walkway here. And it looks like they found their new section and they're having fun rooting around in there. But I figure once a week I'll move them. But grass isn't growing anymore, so probably be short-lived on nice fresh pasture. And I'll just keep them up here for the remainder of the winter, and then when the grass starts growing again, let them back out. I do have a few chickens that are coming out of their molt, so you can see this pearl white here. She looks really nice, really clean, really fluffy. There's a bright new coat of feathers for the winter. Howdy, out today is November 13th. The chickens are following me for some reason. I'm not sure why. But I just let them out. I'm gonna let some more chickens out today. There's just a lot of odd end stuff I want to get done. The wind isn't as bad today, which is nice, but we do have some rain moving in about 4 o'clock, which cuts a lot of what I can do today. So I'll do what I can outside, and then when the rain comes, I'll start working inside. This Saturday is my first ever winter farmers market, so I am really looking forward to that. I wanted to make sure I did a winter farmers market this year because the farm has grown to the point where I'm able to sustain product through the winter. Obviously not so much on the produce end, but everything else. So I'm really excited for that. And this town, it's the first time that they've ever done a winter market, so they're really drumming it up. And to help promote it, the news is going to be featuring a few products that will be sold, and one of those will be my product. So they'll have 42 vendors, and out of those 42 vendors, they needed 3 people to, you know, showcase some items. So I'm gonna bring them a dozen eggs, and they'll be featured on the Friday morning news. I won't actually be there in person. It'll be the event coordinator for the market that'll be handling all that, but I'm excited to see the eggs on the news. That's pretty cool, and I'm really excited for Saturday overall, just seeing how the market will go. The chickens have been pretty good about not eating my kale, but we did just come over and take a few bites. That's not bad though. I'm really surprised at how well this kale did. I will definitely be planting this next year. But you chickens need to stay away. We got plenty of other things y'all can go eat. I think it's about time that I clean the straw out of my car. I put the straw that was in here out with the pigs in their little shelter, so they're having fun with it, but hopefully this will clean up all right. For a quick sweep, that is not half bad. Picked up better than I thought it would. I nearly forgot something I wanted to do, and I was about to work in the garden, thinking about how things aren't going to dry out before the rain, and then realized I really need to do this before the rain. When we put the plastic on, we didn't take all these boards up, so there's still plastic from last year on there. And when we put the plastic on this year, we put it underneath the board, but the other plastic is still underneath this plastic. So when it rains, water's coming in through these cracks and just washing right down in the coop, so it gets really wet in there. So I'm going to spray this down, hopefully keep some water out. Also looks like this thing popped, so get another screw on that. Actually broke. Now the fun part is trying to clean the straw out so I can use the rest of this can, and also this little top part here too. We'll see how this holds up. We'll check it after the rain and see if I need to put more on for next time, but I want to make sure this actually sets up before the rain does come, so I'm just going to do this one coat for now. Chickens are starting to move into the eggplant. See what they think of that. They've been eyeballing them pretty hard. Just on the cusp of rain. It'll be here in about 10 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and throw another bale of straw into the little pig shelter. They've worn it down, and I'm seeing dirt in some places, and I want it to be nice and fluffy and warm in there for them. So I'm gonna just toss the whole thing in. What do you think of that? Got itches. This here's Sally. I think she's chunked up the most. Little tiny Tim, still kind of ugly. Still the smallest. Hi, Winnie. You guys gonna have fun messing that up. She's always the playful one. that makes me feel better. You guys will stay warm. They've all been, for the past 2 days, really finishing their food off. And I haven't been doing that. But now that it's getting colder out, I haven't been turning the heat lamp on. They're probably in here. It takes a little bit more energy for them to stay warm. So I want to make sure this stays nice and dry and toasty in here for them. So always want to keep it nice and fluffy for them. It's only getting down to 50 tonight, so I'm not worried about them. But the past 2 nights were in the 30s, so it was a bit chilly. So I'm not worried about them at all now. What you chickens doing? It's about to rain. I'm really hoping all the chickens go up when it starts raining, so I don't want to hang out for a couple hours in the rain, but we'll see what happens. Well, the rain finally made it. It's nothing bad right now. It's just pretty light. I have this pumpkin that's been sitting out here since the farm party. So I think it's the last pumpkin I have. I'm gonna go ahead, grab it, and smash it up for the pigs. Pretty good sized pumpkin. The pigs are gonna like this one. Most of the chickens are up. I think I still have 2 running around, so I'm just waiting on them. Also, the company that I ordered the nesting boxes from messed up and they sent me 2. So it was a buy one, get one basically. So that's nice. I have a complete full set here of exactly what I made a couple days ago. So I'm gonna use this one for spare parts and playing around with, which is really nice to have. Howdy, yeah. Today is November 14th. I'm about to drop off the dozen eggs for the news on tomorrow morning. And then I'm going to kind of walk around. This is actually where the farmer's market's going to be for Saturday. So I already know where my booth location is, but I haven't actually ever been in this building before. So I'm going to walk around, check it out. Got that done. That was pretty quick and simple. Now let's head to the feed mill. I need a few bags of chick food because I'm completely out of that. And see if I can order some pig food. I think he said they grind Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. Today's Thursday. It wouldn't be done today, obviously, but hopefully pick it up on Monday. With the rain yesterday and still kind of sprinkling today, the good news is this coop is drier than what it was. In the middle, it's way better. Still kind of a damp spot there. And over by the door, there's this tiny little wet spot. So there's still some water. It's kind of holding. You can see some water there that's holding good, but there's other spots where you can kind of look down and see the moisture in the plastic there. So I'll probably need a little bit more spray foam up there just to help seal that up a bit better, but already a big improvement. Howdy out. Today is November 15th. Been teaching trumpet all day, so finally on the farm. I just got chores done and now I got to get ready for the farmer's market tomorrow. The news station did air this morning. I was able to catch it and watch it. Instead of 3 vendors, they chose 11 or however many people decided to get back with them. So it wasn't so much one-on-one, which was a bit of a bummer, but my eggs were front and center. They didn't open the carton, which was also unfortunate, but oh well, it was on the news, so that's cool. But anyways, I got to get ready for tomorrow, so I'm going to see if I have any good radishes left, some kale and Brussels sprouts, and I'd like to do that before it gets dark. Everything else I can work on after the sun sets, which actually I think it's going to set here just pretty soon. It's so overcast you can't really tell anyways, but I don't have too much more daylight is all I'm saying. Here it is mid-November and we still have some bugs out. I just have a couple Brussels sprouts that have bugs on them. This one's got chewed up pretty hard and not much on the plant, but some of the others are really surprising me, which has been nice. This one here has been really good, a lot of good ones. So they definitely do better in the cold weather. I haven't been keeping up on them really well, so some of them have just gone crazy. Like this one. And it is just branching off everywhere and making some more. So they're a little bit wild, but they look good. Well, considering I have about 50 Brussels sprout plants out there, this was my haul. I honestly gave up and didn't even look at the last 30. I glanced at them as I walked up, but I just didn't get too much on them. I have better uses of my time than picking just a few measly Brussels sprouts. Next, I'm gonna pull up the last of my radishes here, have a good bucket, bad bucket, and let's get that done. Well, yeah, I quickly ran out of light. I started pulling the radishes and I was feeding some to the pigs, cleaning some off. I only got through one row of those, and then I had a neighbor stop by and talk for, I don't know, it was a good long bit, but basically that ran me out of light. But it's nice to finally meet him because we've been next to each other and just haven't talked or crossed paths yet. But anyways, like the Christmas lights up there, finally got those plugged in. But I do still have some kale to do, so I'm gonna get that done. Oh, also, the neighbor that I was talking to is the one that has seen this lion or cougar several times. He's seen it, and then several other neighbors have, but he just saw it, I think it was 2 weeks ago, and it was along the back wood line out there, and he's got a few dogs, and one of his dogs took off after it, and that cougar, lion, whatever it is, took off up the tree. It's clearly bigger than the dog, he said, and some sort of big cat. He's not exactly sure what it is, but it seems like everybody around me has seen this big cat. I have not seen it yet. I kind of want to see it, but I'd kind of rather not. I just don't even want it to be out there. But so far, I haven't had any issues with it. The neighbor I was talking to, did just catch a mink that had gone in and got some of his chickens. Minks are nasty, so I haven't had any issues with them, thankfully. I just had that skunk, so good thing he's over there kind of keeping an eye on the wildlife. It's starting to get pretty chilly, so I'm just going to do the kale real quick and then be done with picking things, and then I'll start loading up, washing eggs, and getting ready for tomorrow. Done enough at the farm. It's about 7 o'clock. It was getting cold and dark. You know, wasn't planning on having any visitors at the farm, so I just didn't get as much accomplished as I wanted to. I could have stayed there for longer, but cold and dark. So I have enough showing of everything that I'm happy with it, and I still have a lot of work left to do tonight yet. So I'm stopping and getting ice right now for the meat birds in the cooler to make sure they stay nice and frozen. And then once I get home, I've got to start working on the sign, redoing that for the winter market, and washing some things, getting the kale ready, looking at the radishes, tasting the radishes, see if they're even any good, and just miscellaneous things like that. So still a lot to do today.